Roughly centered 165 miles just east of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. And it's still packing winds. Now the winds are down to about 80 miles per hour, and it's slowly moving off towards the east-northeast. Well, wind certainly is the big story for many coastal areas this morning, and we have reporters who are reporting live about what's been happening along the beach. Right now we have Mike Seidel in Nags Head, North Carolina. Good morning, Mike. What's the latest in your area?
And sure, good morning. The wind is back up this morning. We've got another one of those tropical rain squalls, one of the outer bands from Hurricane Dennis rolling in on the outer banks here, and so the winds again are gusting up over 50 miles an hour. And we're getting that horizontal rain combined with the sand, which we've seen so much of the past couple of days. Now, yesterday we had wind gusts in excess of hurricane force, Ocracoke Island with a wind gust of 100 miles an hour. And those hurricane force wind gusts caused all kinds of problems, and they continue today with power outages. The power is out here at our hotel. Traffic lights were knocked out yesterday, automatic signals. Fortunately, most of the people in the Outer Banks just kind of stayed in their rooms or in their homes and just watched the storm from the comfort of indoors. Power lines bobbing up and down, and again, some of those power lines were knocked down. Last night, a transformer was blown out and knocked out a lot of power. Damage, fortunately, has been minimal. A few signs hit, some shingles off some of the roofs and some of the homes I can see around here. We're looking at more high surf, more beach erosion. That has been a real headache. Just over behind me, over the dune line, it drops off about 10 to 15 feet, and then high tide is now rapidly approaching this dune line, so we're going to get more erosion. And with the prospects of Dennis now stalling and possibly moving back towards the coast between now and Labor Day weekend, these beaches are going to be a real mess. Not only the erosion, but there's a lot of debris which has rolled up on shore. So a real rocky time here on the Outer Banks, and again, Highway 12 through Hatteras Island and Ocracoke Island, still closed, overwash at high tide, some of the roadway covered with over a foot of sand and debris. So it's not going to get any better anytime soon. If you've got plans to head down here Labor Day weekend, stay with the Weather Channel, because there may still be problems as far out as Saturday and Sunday. Cheryl, back to you in the studio.
Well, definitely some angry seas behind you there, Mike. Once again, that was Mike Seidel reporting live from Nags Head, North Carolina. And we'll be checking back in with Mike periodically throughout the morning hours. In the meanwhile, though, let's check out the latest satellite picture from Hurricane Dennis. And again, this hurricane is simply not budging anytime soon. So we're going to be having this hurricane to deal with at least for the next couple of days or so. And it continues to spin in some moisture and likewise some very stiff winds and some high seas and high swells right along coastal areas. Here's the latest wind profile regarding Hurricane Dennis. Now, what we have to watch out for are these tropical storm force winds showing up in the shades of yellow. And actually, these tropical storm force winds extend out some 220 miles from the center of circulation. So these stiff winds indeed are brushing the coastal areas, especially for Virginia and North Carolina. And with that in mind, tropical storm warnings remain in effect from Chincoteague, Virginia, and extending southward towards Cape Lookout in North Carolina. Aside from that,
way offshore, the bad news is we've had ongoing northeast wind now for a good 48 hours on the beachfront there in the Carolina Outer Banks, and that is what is causing all that beach erosion. At 2 p.m., Hurricane Dennis at 35.2 north, 73.2 west, about 135 miles east of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. The good news, it is a minimal hurricane. The bad news, that minimal hurricane has turned around and appears to be angling westward at 5 miles per hour. Pressure 29.03 inches. Tropical storm warnings up. Chincoteague, Virginia, down to Cape Lookout, North Carolina, including Albemarle and Pamlico Sound and the lower Chesapeake. And it looks like winds here 40 to 55, maybe 60 miles per hour. Not as strong as they were yesterday, but the hurricane itself appears to be wanting to angle westward, and that pretty much jives with what we're thinking now. It looks like there's a big high to the north, and it's kind of building over towards Bermuda to the east. It is effectively cutting it off at the pass. If anything, it will likely angle very slowly westward over the next few days. And right now it's out there sitting over the very warm Gulf Stream. Water temperatures on average about 82 to 85 degrees, and literally it is feasting on this. We've had a little resurgence as we've seen the colder tops bloom again today, and that is where the areas of very heavy rain are. But still a big cloud canopy, Virginia and North Carolina, all the way up to about the Amish country and Philadelphia. A rather cloudy day, but the rain pretty much down around the tidewater southward to the Outer Banks area. And you can see the rain doing its thing, edging westbound, as we have said. So cloudier skies could eventually yield some rain as far west as Raleigh, North Carolina. The bulk of the rain south of the tidewater, and especially there over the areas from Elizabeth City and Manteo southward to about Cape Lookout. But again, we'll be watching it carefully. The high wind and the incessant surf will continue to be a major factor the next few days. Now,